Some mornings feel different. Like something was waiting outside. I remembered late the night before how the ladder to Leona's attic suddenly fell. I got up, assumed it had been a gust, a strange occurrence. I climbed and didn't sense anything different. Balkus was sitting up on Leona's bedbox, curious as I was at what had happened. I fixed it back into place and went back to sleep. Simon had slept on the downstairs chaise longue. He regarded me with indifference as I came in. Made coffee, only rising to get a cup in silence and taking it outside when I was done making it. It took me a while to realize what that sound was that I was hearing. It was the rabbit scratching at one of the back doors, which had a slight crack imperfect. A draft whistled through from outside. I opened the door and we went outside together. Outside where I seldom went, tall grass and weeds, frankly, that needed tending. The rabbit sniffed some prickly leaves but left them alone. It stood on its hind legs and regarded down the forest below. It listened, its little ears calibrating like antennae. I thought of the technology. I couldn't hear anything, but it could. No doubt a blind rabbit can do something special.
Going somewhere?
Simon crept up on me again. He was getting good at that, else I was becoming less aware of my surroundings. Don't know. Why do you ask?
Well, looks like she wants to.
We packed some cheese and oatcakes, some lettuce and carrot stalks. Felt right to have a little pack. I thought of how Bunny used to ride in Netto's little pink satchel. The rabbit led us down the usual hillside trail. When we got to the road, it took an instinctive right turn, and we walked on the side of the road, which wasn't likely to have much traffic this early in the morning. It paused as sure enough the morning bus rattled down and passed us. It didn't seem intent on seeing if we wanted a ride, which was uncharacteristic. Perhaps a new bus driver who wasn't attuned to the habits of the locals. Typically, they would stop and chat for a few seconds. We walked for a kilometer or so, and when I noticed the rabbit seemed less enthusiastically paced, I scooped her up and she rode quite deftly on my shoulder. It didn't really matter for me to pay attention to her. She seemed even more fearless than Bunny had been. Simon listened to an old Walkman he'd found in his spare bedroom. He'd reveled to find a number of tapes in town, among them a tape of the Strokes. Sometimes it was wondrous to be around someone so young. There were still surprises, it felt for him, and on a good day he radiated a gentle warmth. Of course, there were still surprises for us all. The rabbit insisted to get down by tugging on my earlobe, quite like Agatha had, when we got to a thicket with a little path, sort of, towards a circular grove of cypress. Odd to see, as they are native to California, were introduced as landscaping, and yet here they are in the Highland wilds, in a neat little arrangement. As we got closer, we could hear the distinctive sound of water. We couldn't see it yet, and as we entered the grove, we were enveloped in its shaded gloom. Simon turned off his cassette player.
Wonder why it wants us to go here.
The wail caught us off guard. Rattled the very matter around us, and the rabbit froze suddenly, almost looking paralyzed. Then it ceased, like it had been a sonic boom from a jet overhead. But it wasn't overhead. It was somewhere below, somewhere within us.
You heard that right, Harry? I don't know why, but I'm feeling kind of unsteady right now. I almost felt like my powers were triggered by it. Is my hand glowing?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, you're right. I just got a little blurry for a second.
We walked back out without even considering the rabbit who stayed inside. Here, take the backpack. If you stay, otherwise, we'll see you back at the castle. You're right to trust your instincts.
Are you sure? What do you think that was?
Not sure, but it's not too unfamiliar to me. And the rabbit wants to go, so I feel I should follow it. Don't worry, I'm tough. And the rabbit has its own journey, it would seem. Hey, don't worry. Inside the little grove, the rabbit was sitting up, slightly rigid. I touched its back, and it looked like it considered me for a second, and then it darted into the undergrowth. I just barely saw where it went. A passage, not unlike the one in the rainforest underneath a tree trunk, a gap that wouldn't appear to fit me, and yet the soil beneath seemed to give to my shape as I gave way to gravity. As I began to fall, a distance not unremarkable, and landed on a soft bed of dirt. Before us, a circular stream. The rabbit had already crossed onto the little island. It sat peacefully amidst the slowly bubbling water. Then, in an instant, the rabbit was a girl, all in white. Her eyes were streaked with tears, her fangs with blood, her smock was distressed as well, stained. She looked at me with pity. And then, she was the rabbit again. Like a magic trick, a slight distraction of the mind. A hand clawed its way from out the water source. A dirty, pale, aged hand. It pulled itself out of the water. The nearly bald crone looked at me. She wore a vestment made of mud and animal flesh. Her eyes were unmistakably pitch black. And then she screamed, the same I had heard before. The sound deafened me, and just as I looked away and back, she was gone. I sat. I lay down, I knelt, my stomach, my heart. My every atom screwed in on itself, and I felt my soul a knot that should be hacked into pieces. A keening, mourning, lamentable sound came from out my mouth. I lay in the center of the circle. Rabbit sat on my heart. I hadn't much sense of worry for the crone appearing again. This was her domain. I knew enough to bow to those who were master or mistress to their domain. Her hands found me. They tightened around my throat. Not unkindly, pressing gently, holding me down. She breathed on me, a breath of the ocean, not unpleasant, familiar, nostalgic, dangerous. Agatha had been taught by a woman who had loved him, and then a betrayal. She hated him, wanted to kill him, wished his total destruction. Agatha had found me a mess, a monster in her eyes. Or was it mine that she could shape? And when I proved to be nothing of the sort, did she love me still? Or did she no longer have use for me? Hollow, 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 hollow. The crone released her hands on my throat. I heard her slip back into the water. The rabbit shivered. What was this? All hallucination? I thought of Simon. How long had I been in here? My mouth felt parched. The rabbit seemed to wake as I did. I raised myself up. The rabbit led the way somehow, up and through the hollow. Had this place been only for me? It was night when I got out to the entrance of the grove. Harry! Simon, not to worry. Had, you been waiting long?
Yeah. The sun just set for the second time. My Walkman ran out of batteries a long time ago. I was starting to get worried. And if not worried, bored, I guess. I alternated between the two, but what choice did I have? I thought of going in after you, but every time I got closer, I almost felt nauseous, you know? Anyway, I'm glad to see you. Can we get away from this place? Maybe you can tell me about where you were later?
Simon was unusually shook. I was unusually calm. What could I compare this experience to? Rabbit hopped in the backpack and I carried her thus home. It was as if the apparition from the Red Night had prepared me for the experience. As well, the fountain, the opening of the portal had created a ripple effect perhaps, or else whomever had created the fountain, Agatha's origin as Neto surmised, perhaps her or someone like her had created this place. Magic seemed to have sense, even if it wasn't the common kind. A keening place, a place to grieve and find wisdom, a bit at a time. It made sense Simon couldn't go in. The young may not grieve in quite the same way. It would have been too much for him. From sleep to wake. Only the rabbit seemed to have resumed as normal, spending most of her time with Balkis, even managing to come visit Leona when he took his visits. Simon and I did not sleep for a few days. Little brief respites only for myself where I would nod off for an hour or two. Simon kept cycling between his dozen or so tapes, never satisfied with what he was listening to, restless. Perhaps you should, I don't know. Go into the city, find Brea, or I don't know, just go out.
Yeah, I hadn't thought of it. I didn't feel I should with Neto gone.
You've done all you can, I'm sure. I'll manage by myself. You have the address, you can keep me posted by mail. There is a place where we feel neither joy in the present, nor joy in memories recall, nor even joy in anticipation of the future. However, in that absence of joy, in that place, in ambling company of grief, we are given a gift, one that makes all of time one. All is present. Memory is no more important than the present moment, neither is the approaching future either. We are enveloped by the singularity of grief, like a truth, like a revelation. And if we can surrender to it, it can suddenly be present, like catching the wave at just the right time. I've always been a storm. I heard that lyric from Simon's Walkman, from that band, Fleetwood was it? I have always been a storm. How I would long to talk to Neto right now to say if I had the courage. Grief. Is that what we've been feeling all this time? To which he'd probably chuckle.
Of course, Harry. What have you been feeling? What did you think life was?
I don't know. A fight. And yet, I've given up that fight long ago. Now the storms simply look like weather. And the weather wasn't something to be feared. I watched Simon's bus depart down the lane. I'd given him Balkis's and Leona's key to their apartment should he get restless and want to go to London. A lot of cash. I had something the antique dealer might like to get us by for our sardines and carrots. I could survive on oatcakes.
There's emotion in the storm. I can't keep my eyes off you. The truth is there and running scared. The poems keep you from the blues. Lady luck will kiss your neck. Better lovers take you to bed. Head into a greater fall. Grace becomes the diver's call. I want to believe. There's emotion in the stars. Weigh the dust, that collects. Later as the damage gets, bury the puppets and the gold. And I can't trust